said that it takes a village to raise a child. Our first guest shows us how much there is to learn from the wisdom of the elders in that village. Waiting resident and rookie author Emilie Betts has written a memoir of life-affirming wisdom that spans the highs and lows of her remarkable 8.5 decades. It is entitled Shadows in My House of Sunshine, a journey of discovery, and we are very pleased to welcome Ms. Betts to the Notebook, especially since you're getting such great reviews on Amazon and all these other places. Excellent and good reviews all across the board.
I'm very happy about that.
85 years old, the first book. Has this been something that's just been festering in you?
Oh, probably. And it came very gradually. And people always ask me, what made you write this book? And
so what made you write this book?
Well, I can't answer that with one reason. There are a lot of reasons. Mm-hmm. People love what I wrote. I wrote letters, and I wrote Christmas letters, and I did a lot of other writing that appealed to them. And it started me thinking, because I do have a lot of stories, I said to myself, especially since I lived in 29 different houses, 7 different states, and a lot of experiences.
So you're definitely a child of the Depression era.
Oh, absolutely.
Does that have something to do with those 29 homes?
You bet it does, because my father chased jobs. He had a little problem with the bottle, so he would get fired, and then we'd have to pick everything up and go someplace else for another job.
It wasn't an unusual story back in that era. A lot of men who were working at that time, just the pressures to keep their families afloat. But as a child back then and having to move around so much, what was it like trying to make friends? What was it like trying to find some stability in your life?
Well, I can say that my little brother was my pole star. He was with me all the time, and we were sort of like two orphans in the storm. And
orphans?
Well, I'd say that because my parents were much older. I had an older brother and sister. So we really were kind of on our own, you know, not without a home, of course, but it was just, you know, the back and forth that you get with your children.
With all that moving around, where was the light at the end of the tunnel in your youth that you were able to see a way out of eastern Pennsylvania and other places?
When I met Bob, my husband, I looked at him and I said, I think I could go places with you.
Dinner? No, I'm just...
No, and we did.
Start, yeah.
We did. You know, we moved to New York, and he got into the business of advertising, finally, and rose right to the top of William Esty, one of the biggest agencies, and I was right there behind him.
Love at first sight?
Well...
Or did you see him at all, and I don't mean this with any disrespect, but did you at all see him, knowing because of your childhood and the way it was moving around so much, that this guy is a great guy, I love him, but...
He was my ticket.
He was your ticket.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, if he didn't have all the wonderful qualities that he had, I don't think I would have been attracted. But because he did, and because I knew that together we could do this, it was wonderful.
What do you think are the lessons of the Depression era that have been lost on my baby boomer generation and the generation since mine, my children?
Oh, I think that the fact that we all cared about one another, we stuck together, and we shared, and we weren't caught up in materialism like we are today.
You couldn't be. In fact, in your book, you even write at one time when you got a bedroom set, you felt like J.P. Morgan.
That's right. Yep.
Just a bedroom set.
Yes, the first thing I really owned all by myself, all with my husband.
What about with the war? World War II. It was the war, as my father would tell me, everybody believed in that war. Since then, of course, we've had Korea, we've had Vietnam, now we have Iraq, and of course, we had the Persian Gulf War 16 years ago. Does your view of how Americans look at America disappoint you, surprise you in this day and age after having gone through the Second World War?
Disappoint me.
Disappoint you?
Oh, yeah. I never have seen a country that was so united, so together as it was in the days of World War II. We just were one country.
Right. The gist of the book is really looking to home, where everything comes together for you. What was it for you? Or are you still looking?
Well, you know, to be honest with you, maybe I am, but I think I found it. I think I have. When I walked in the door of that beautiful little cottage I have now,
in Rowayton,
something said to me, "You are home."
This is where it's all come together.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
This is also your home anytime you'd like to come back.
Yeah.
And the book is entitled Shadows in My House of Sunshine, The Journey of Discovery. It truly is. Emilie Betts, can't wait till your next book.
Thank you very much.